power. The dismissal also marks an extraordinary moment. 50 years after Richard Nixon was forced by lawmakers from both parties to resign the presidency amid allegations of criminal conduct, half of American voters discounted equally serious charges of criminal misconduct in office against Donald Trump. They returned Mr. Trump to the presidency. And if the lesson of Watergate was that no one was above the law, the lesson of the Trump era is that a majority of Americans have decided that this principle no longer applies. And what I can tell you, Lester, is that we also expect a filing in the other case, which has been dismissed by the judge, that classified documents case against Mr. Trump, which is on appeal. We expect a filing there, although it's not clear exactly what that filing will say, because there are two other defendants in that case. And Jack Smith, the special counsel, is required to file a report to the Attorney General before he leaves office, explaining his prosecution decisions. Merrick Garland has a policy of making those reports public. So we can expect to see a public report, Lester. But in this case, we don't expect it to go much beyond the volume of material that is already in the public record about both of these criminal cases.
All right, Ken Delaney, and thank you. Let me bring in our senior legal correspondent, Laura Jarrett. Laura, what is the chance, putting politics aside, what's the chance of resuming the case 4 years from now?
Very little. You and I both noted as the filing was coming in that it said without prejudice, which means theoretically they could bring it again, but it seems highly unlikely, Lester, even notwithstanding statute of limitations issues, all of the effort and resources that were put into this, they never really got off the ground. They didn't get anywhere close to a jury trial, much less the conclusion and sentencing. They just never got there. But between the delays with the Supreme Court decision on immunity and Trump's own efforts to try to get the case blocked, I think the real question now is just whether we even see a final report from Smith's office laying out sort of what evidence he would have adduced at trial. He was also required to explain in that report why he didn't bring any charges. If there were anything that he held back, he's supposed to explain.
He had already developed a roadmap to get around the Supreme Court ruling on immunity.
He had tried, and they did a superseding indictment, so essentially rewriting the indictment to be more in line with that, kept out some of the evidence that the Supreme Court said was off limits. But even still, he was at the beginning stages of that. Trump was likely to appeal even that new indictment. And so it just really never got off the ground. So the facts didn't change. The evidence didn't change. The only thing that changed is his status.
All right. Laura Jarrett. Laura, thanks very much. We'll, of course, see you later with more on NBC Nightly News. That is our special report. As I said, much more ahead on our streaming network as well, NBC News Now, online at NBCnews.com. And we'll see you tonight on Nightly News. I'm Lester Holt in New York. Good day, and thank you for watching.